USA versus Europe.
Oh.
Who will come out victorious on the scale of intelligence?
What country is the Queen of England from?
What is the country again? What is a country? What is a country? Canada.
All right, enough kidding. I have a pretty good idea of who's going to come out on top of this. Not too sure exactly what the video is. I maybe watched about 5 seconds of it, but I'm assuming it's like interviewing people from the United States and from Europe and seeing who has the most common sense knowledge and intelligence between the two different continents or countries. Europe's not a country, but you know what I mean. I have a good idea of who is most likely the dumbest, and it's probably the Americans. But nonetheless, I'm excited to hop into this one. So without further ado, let's just get right into it.
You've been on the internet in the last 2 years. You've probably come across videos like these.
Can you name any country on this map?
Yeah. Africa?
What country did the Vietnam War happen?
Oh my.
Canada. Can you name a country on this map?
Asia or Africa?
That's a continent.
Oh my gosh. I have seen a couple of these on social media before, and usually, I don't even want to say it's just the younger generation. It's the average American that you find on the street is literally just has no clue what's going on. And the education system has failed us.
Where's Jamaica? Yeah, somewhere around like here.
So what's the deal? Are Americans really the ignorant dum-dums the internet presents them as? Or is this just a case of stereotyping and nitpicking for clout? Well, firstly, I want to make it very clear. I've met many Brits who couldn't name shit about European, American, or just the world's general history. Same with geography.
Fair.
I'd bargain that most UK citizens couldn't point out North Macedonia on a map. And like, I'd say at least 30% of Europeans don't know what Idaho is. That being said, I won't lie, there is a bit of an American self-glazing problem that leads to them coming across as a bit narrow-minded. And I kind of get it, okay? The other day I was getting some of my tax shit sorted out. Oh my god, man. I get it. I fucking get it, guys. If I was out here paying them Louisiana tax brackets, I would probably dick ride my country as well. However, this low-tax, high personal spending policy that some American states have kind of means if you're well off, you can go to a good school guaranteed. But if you're poor, you're stuck going to a public school, which might be fine in some states, but like, bruh.
These public school favors.
Dude, coming to school, you had a huge zit on you. That thing was heavy. Some of them, dude, I had
Oh,
acne
God.
so bad. One time, I remember having one zit. It was kind of heavy on the side of my face. Like, damn, I couldn't even. I had to have one of my buddies kind of just pull down on my other ear, you know, just to keep my head straight. Because I had that heavy Z, baby, that big zitty, that baked ziti on my side. I was fully Italian, that, you know, that little bust lump, that acne, that...
And obviously,
Theo Vaughn is hilarious. I'm actually going to go see him on, I believe, Saturday. We're going to a show here in Nashville, so it's going to be a lot of fun. But the public school systems, it is different in every state. Louisiana, obviously, is going to be, they have really low test scores, as well as like Arkansas and states like that. I went to school in California, so our public school was pretty good.
bad public schooling only affects a certain fraction of the American population, but I feel like it's this fraction of Americans that Europeans make fun of, call stupid, and stereotype as the entire country. Those inbred fucking brainless hillbillies running around like animals with their machine guns and freedom. But let's be real, these people aren't crazy rednecks. They seem pretty normal. Why can none of them tell me where Asia is on a map?
Sometimes when I see them do this, especially like on college campuses, they're some of the dumbest. Our colleges are completely shot here in the States, but
Asia.
No, that's Africa.
Why can none of
Go
them
back a
tell
little
me
bit.
where Asia is on a map?
That would be Asia.
No, that's Africa.
Why can none of
Oh
them
my
seem to
gosh.
grasp the concept
How do you
of a
mess that up?
country?
What country is the Queen of England from?
What is the country again? What is a country? What is a country? Canada.
Well, aside from these videos
Oh
being
my
relatively
gosh.
nitpicked, I think the main reason for Americans' general ignorance about other countries and cultures kind of comes down to how the American media presents the rest of the world to Americans. American film studios can simply make so much more money if they make foreign things seem more familiar to an American audience. I guess it makes it easier to understand and buy into and be invested in, you know? For example, I bet Mamma Mia would have flopped if they had bulky, hairy Greek actors with thick Greek accents, as opposed to the chiseled
Stavi?
white American Hollywood celebrities they casted. It's set in fucking Greece. Not a word of Greek is spoken in the entire film. I mean, they
Haven't seen the movie, seen the play, but
Even dub over all the original songs, which are sung with Swedish accents, with relatable American sounding voices, you know? And surprise, surprise, it became the 6th highest grossing film in the US. If they kept this film Swedish and Greek, they would have sold 0 copies, I'm telling you. This intentional America washing of foreign cultures is all throughout Hollywood. Whenever a film is set abroad, the main character still has an American accent. I mean, they even make foreign actors change their voices, even if their American accents are horrible.
What's up with that boy? I heard he was out the game. Where he been at? You got heat?
I guess because it would be so catastrophic for the film studio's revenue if there was a strand of foreign culture in their blockbuster productions. This very subtle brainwashing.
I will say that, like, currently a lot of the streaming platforms, they have a lot of foreign speakers, like, with good accents in a lot of new TV shows. Hollywood, like big Hollywood, where they make big Hollywood movies, not so much yet, occasionally here and there, but I've been loving Netflix. Some of my favorite shows, probably my favorite show on Netflix is Dark. I think it's pronounced something different in German, but absolutely love that show, and I just watch the whole thing in German and just read subtitles, but yeah.
Has big consequences for the average American though. For example, less than 40% of them have a valid passport. Partly because if you don't see any value or have never been taught anything about foreign cultures, why would you leave the US? We got
Hold on, was that 90% for the Swedish?
About foreign cultures, why would you leave the US? We got every single natural landscape you could ever imagine. We got every goddamn fast food establishment you could ever dream of. We got every culture here already. We got every historical site and element you could ever fathom. The difference with us Europeans, aside from on average having more well-funded public schools, is that we literally need to know about foreign cultures because chances are the weather gets so peak at some point in the year that you need to annually travel to another country briefly just to find your will to live and survive another year, whereas Americans can just get a flight to the other side of their country. No new language, no new culture, no crazy visa restrictions. It's not that easy if you
Yeah, and I've heard a lot of, you guys tell me if this is true or not. I've heard some Europeans say that Americans don't travel and go outside of our country, but in reality, like, the United States is absolutely massive. Like, you can go from the West Coast down to Florida up to the East Coast and be in completely different cultures, different areas, but still need to get out more. I've been to other countries, but most Americans haven't.
live in the UK, and this is why British people are so obsessed with going on holiday, because they're all stuck on this cold-ass rainy island, and humans actually need vitamin D to survive. This means your average Brit at least looks at a map once a year when planning the next lad's getaway, which is probably more often than some Americans look at a map. Clearly.
What's your country's border the U.S.? What's like the country above us and below us?
Oh, this is the easiest question. Oh my gosh, are you freaking kidding me? All right, that wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like more interviewing on the street, which I was excited for, but that was really good. I liked it a lot. Hey, if you guys have any recommendations of what else you want me to react to, for right now, you can drop it in the comments. I'm going to put in some type of system so you guys can put requests in, maybe like a Patreon or something, just so it's a little bit easier for me to receive them. But for right now, if you guys have anything you want me to react to, drop it in the comments. I'm kind of just skimming around. I got a couple more planned out, but beyond that, I need recommendations. So appreciate you stopping in, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.